today me and my friends are going to talk about the impact of inflation or employment on households today. So, without further ado, let's get right into the topic. So, the topic of our presentation is the impact of inflation and unemployment on households today. So, inflation, what we know, defines as the general increase in prices and the corresponding decline in the purchasing power of money, and unemployment, that state of being without a job despite actively seeking employment. There are two significant economic challenges that can profoundly affect households. The objective of our presentation is to analyze how these economic conditions impact households economically, socially, and financially. Economically, we will explore how inflation and unemployment affect household income, purchasing power, savings, and debt levels. Socially, we will examine the changes in living standards, family dynamics, and access to education. Financially, we will assess how a household's budgets are adjusted and the role of government's assistance in this. So, the aim of presentation will be structured into three main sections. The first, the introduction, where the stage will be set by defining key terms and highlighting the importance of households in the economy. The analysis, where we delve into the various impact of inflation and unemployment on households, and the conclusion, where we summarize our findings and suggest strategies for coping with these economic challenges. So, what we know about households today? So, households play a crucial role in the economy as they are the primary consumers of goods and services. They drive demand, influence market trends, and are integral to the economic stability. So, understanding this impact of inflation and unemployment on households is essential, and it helps to grasp the broader implications for society and the economy. In the subsequent sections, we will provide a detailed analysis supported by relevant statistics, graphs, and real-life examples to illustrate the multifaceted effects of this economic phenomena on households. So that's it from me, and this is the introduction of the impact of inflation and unemployment on households today. The rest will be explained with my friends, and thank you for being me today. Thank you.
For my part, I'm going to tell you about the income and purchasing power. How inflation erodes purchasing power. Inflation is a significant economic factor that directly affects the purchasing power of households. When prices for goods and services rise, the value of money declines, meaning that a household income can buy fewer items than before. In Malaysia, the Consumer Price Index (CPI) is often used to measure inflation. For example, if the CPI indicates a 3% annual inflation rate, the cost of living has increased by 3%, reducing the real value of the ringgit. This erosion of purchasing power can lead to households needing to adjust their spending habits, often having to prioritize essential items over non-essential ones. Effect of unemployment on household income. Unemployment exacerbates the financial strain on households. When individuals lose their jobs, they lose their primary source of income. In Malaysia, the unemployment rate saw a significant rise during the COVID-19 pandemic, reaching 4.8% in 2021, which was higher than the pre-pandemic rate around 3.3%. Besides that, I'm going to also talk about trends in inflation, unemployment rates, and household incomes. To understand the full impact of inflation and unemployment on Malaysian households, it is helpful to look at the statistical trends.
Savings and investment. Reduced ability to save due to higher living costs. Inflation increased the cost of living, reducing the disposable income available for savings. In Malaysia, the rise in prices of essential goods such as food, transportation, and housing means that households need to spend a larger portion of their income on these necessities, leaving less for savings. For instance, between 2019 and 2021, the price of food and non-alcoholic beverages rose significantly, which can be attributed to global supply chain disruption and increased demand. As a result, many Malaysian households found it challenging to maintain their previous level of savings. Impact on investment and retirement plans. Inflation also impacts investment and retirement plans. When inflation rates are high, the real returns on saving and fixed income investment like bonds decrease. For example, if a saving account offers 3% interest rate but the inflation rate is 4%, the real return on those savings is negative, effectively eroding the value of the saved money over time. This situation can lead to households rethinking their investment strategies, often shifting towards assets that are perceived to offer better protection again, against inflation, such as real estate or stocks. Economic impact, debt and credit, increased borrowing and debt levels. Economic hardship caused by inflation and unemployment can lead to increased borrowing as households struggle to cover their expenses. During periods of economic downturn such as COVID-19 pandemic, many Malaysian households turn to personal loans, credit cards, and other forms of credit to make ends meet. According to Bank Negara Malaysia, household debt has a percentage of GDP reached 93.3% in 2020, one of the highest level in the region. Higher interest rates due to inflation impacting loans repayments. Higher inflation often leads to higher interest rates as the central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia, might increase rates to control inflation. This increase in interest rates makes borrowing more expensive. For households with existing variable rate loans such as mortgages, this means higher monthly repayments, further straining their finance. For example, if the interest rate on a mortgage rises from 4% to 5%, the monthly repayment on a 500,000 ringgit Malaysian loan could increase by several hundred.
Social impact, standard of living, increased cost of essential goods and service. Inflation lead to an increase in the price of essential goods and service such as food, housing, and healthcare. In Malaysia, the price of food items like rice, meat, and vegetable has seen noticeable increases. Housing costs, including rent and property price, have also risen, making it more difficult for households to afford adequate living spaces. Healthcare expenses including medical consultation and medication have similarly escalated, putting additional financial pressure on families. Potential decline in quality of life. As the cost of the living rises, households may experience a decline in their overall quality of life, with more income being allocated to essential expenses. Families have less disposable income for leisure activities, vacation, and other non-essential goods. This can lead to a decrease in overall happiness and well-being, as families are forced to cut back on enjoyable activities and experiences. Next is family dynamic. Stress and mental health issues due to financial instability, like financial instability brought about by inflation and unemployment, can cause significant stress and mental health issues. Anxiety and depression may increase as households struggle to make ends meet. According to a survey conducted by the Malaysian Mental Health Association, there was a notable rise in mental health issues among Malaysians during periods of economic hardship, with many citing financial stress as a primary cause. Change in family roles, financial instability often lead to changes in family dynamics. For instance, in many Malaysian households, due to income setup have become more common as both partners need to work to support the family. Additionally, older children may need to contribute to household income either by taking a part-time job or relying high education to support their families. This shift can affect the traditional role within a family and lead to increased pressure on all members to contribute financially.
Education. Impact on the children education due to financial constraint. Financial constraint can severely impact children in education. If families face economic challenges, they might prioritize basic necessities over educational expenses. This can lead to reduced spending on school supplies, curricular activities, and even tuition fees. The served cases of children might have dropped out of school to support their family financially. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Malaysia students struggled with online learning due to a lack of access to digital devices and internet connectivity, extracting educational inequalities. Here are the infographics about cost of living in Malaysia. Financial impact, household budgets, changes in spending habits and budget allocation. Inflation and employee cyclically affect household budget in Malaysia, leading to changes in spending habits and budget allocation. With rising prices for essential goods and serving, households are forced to relocate their limited resources. For example, a larger portion of the household budget may be developed to necessary such as food, housing alternatives, leaving less for discretionary spending on entertainment, dining out, and vacations. This shift often requires families to adopt more frugal lifestyle, forcing on cost-saving measures and prioritize external over non-external expenditures. Comparison of pre-inflation and post-inflation household budgets. Before inflation, typical Malaysian householder might calculate their monthly income as follows. These changes reflect the increased cost of living, forcing householders to reduce and eliminate discretionary spending and saving to cover external needs.
Next, we are going to talk about first the government assistance. Role of government aid, unemployment benefits and subsidies. The Malaysian government provides various forms of assistance to help households cope with the financial impact of inflation and unemployment. These include unemployment benefits, subsidies for essential goods and direct financial aid to low-income families. For example, the Unemployment Insurance (EIS) offers temporary financial assistance to individuals who have lost their jobs. Additionally, the government provides subsidies for essential items such as rice, cooking oil and fuel to help mitigate the impact of rising prices. Nextly, analyze the effectiveness of these programs. The effectiveness of this government assistance program can be mixed. On one hand, unemployment benefits and subsidies provide crucial relief to households facing financial difficulties. They help maintain a basic standard of living and prevent families from falling into poverty. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Bantuan Prihatin Nasional BPN Cash Aid Program provided immediate financial support to millions of Malaysians, helping them to cover essential expenses. On the other hand, there are challenges in the implementation and reach of these programs. Some households may not be aware of available benefits or may face bureaucratic hurdles in accessing them. Moreover, the amount of aid provided may not fully compensate for the loss of income or the increase of cost of living. Now, we got 3 examples of government initiative. The first one, subsidies for essential goods. The second one, unemployment insurance system (EIS). The third one, Bantuan Prihatin Nasional BPN. Thank you.
Here I'm about to talk about conclusion. In conclusion, our analysis has highlighted the profound impact of inflation and unemployment of Malaysian households. Economically, inflation erodes purchasing power and strains household budgets, while unemployment reduces income and increases financially instability. Socially, these economic challenges lead to higher cost of living, diminished quality of life, significant of stress on family dynamic, affecting both mental health, traditional roles, financially, household face increased borrowing and debt level accelerated by higher interest rate. Moving forward, effectively coping strategies are essential. Financial planning, including meticulous budgeting and prioritizing saving, is crucial. Weathering economic uncertainty, invest in assets that offer protection against inflation, such as diversified portfolios and real estate, can also mitigate financial risk.